Hello friends, this is Alexander on Life. Example of what's happening in life, what happens in life, which is when you don't have control sometimes. Now we'd like to admit that we do have control over our finances, relationships, children, careers, even ourselves. But if you think about it, there's a lot of things in life we do not have control over. I eat food, I excrete food. I don't really know how that works. It just happens. I put it in, it comes out, and now I'm still alive, right? How does that happen? We don't really know. There's a lot of processes in life that we don't quite understand, but we surrender to them because my body's working for me. I had to make a very difficult decision about what to do with something specific. And I don't really like the decision that I've had to make, but it was the best for me in terms of my peace of mind. And I think in the end, if you lose your peace of mind, then, well, what is there left? And in this difficult decision, I had to risk a very important relationship, fearing that if I did what was best for me to take care of myself, that they would no longer wish to know me or to have its professional relationship. When things happen out of our control unexpectedly, and it's negative or bad, I think the best thing is to not label it as bad, because then we want to avoid it or push it away. I think the best thing to do is accept it and say, this is happening. And then what can I learn for it? What can I learn from it? What is it here? Why is it in my life? Like, what is it here to teach me? Okay? And then, how do I deal with it in the best possible way is, I don't know, you have to reach out for advice. And you have to, for me, I read Confucius, and Confucius's wisdom that he wrote, or didn't write, but orally given and then written down, was very helpful. Okay, one specific verse apropos Confucius was that he said he would not like to have a man with him who fights a tiger with his bare hands or crosses a river without a raft. So, because this person would die, right? So he would rather have someone with him who can think conscientiously and change his plans accordingly. Meaning, if you're on your way somewhere and there's an obstacle or a river you must cross, don't just keep going. Sometimes you need to stop, assess where you are, make new plans, and go around or build the raft or the boat metaphorically and cross the river. It doesn't mean go in a different direction necessarily. It doesn't mean stop what you're doing. It means hold on a minute and be smart about your next steps. I'm the type of person that loves to just charge forward, and if there's risk, there's a verse in Lord of the Rings where Gimli is like, impossible odds, certainty of death, what are we waiting for? That's me. It's like, oh, it's risky, I'm risking everything, and it's like, crazy, let's do it, go. But I strongly felt that something was holding me back from, I just couldn't do it this time. Maybe I'm getting older, so I don't want to be in that kind of risky situation. Yeah, so I felt prudent to hold off on something, but it didn't completely change my life plans, right? But anyway, so what I'm getting to is that life just hits you with unexpected shit. Negative circumstances. There's these sayings, turn lemon into lemonade, which I hate those sayings. It's like, I don't even like lemonade that much. What's the big deal of that? But I truly believe there's a lesson in everything, in every single trial or tribulation that we experience. I think it was James in the Bible said, "Be grateful for your sufferings, because there's a reward on the other side of them." And I think the reward is the wisdom that we gain. I like to quote Marcus Aurelius, who also helped me make what I think was the right decision. When he said that if a cucumber is bitter, you throw it out. If there's brambles on your path, you go around. Having to adapt and change is hard to do. And I'm having to change my nature of how I deal with difficult circumstance. Being not necessarily as cavalier. Not making a decision based on fear of losing something is strengthening my character. I feel more resolved, stronger. And even in other interactions I've had with people, sometimes people don't text you back in the time that you expect, or people fall away, or you just fear losing people. I'm speaking of myself, you may have a different experience. But this one choice that I've made is making me feel less afraid of losing anybody. Because I realize the person that matters most is me. I matter the most. Truly. If I'm taking care of myself, making sure I'm well, that I'm at peace, that this body, mind, and soul is at peace, then I have something to give. And I can be valuable for others. And that is the best way to go about life. And if taking care of myself means losing someone else, or it means that I can't make a commitment, even a very important one, if I truly need to not follow through with that commitment, even though it pains me to do so, it might be the right choice. So it's kind of a revelation to me, learning to take care of yourself, going around obstacles rather than pushing through them. A recent book I read was called Obstacle is the Way. And when there's an obstacle, one thing that book has that's clear is that when there are obstacles, there's many different ways of dealing with it. And the book, I think by Ryan Holiday, who also wrote The Daily Stoic, another great book. Anyway, when there's an obstacle, there's many different ways to deal with it. You push through, or you can break it down, or you can climb over it, or you can go around. And I think depending on the circumstance, you have to figure out what's the best way to deal with it. And I think that the worst thing you can do if an obstacle comes up is to run back the other way. Don't go back the way you came. If you have a dream or you're building your life or something, don't be dismayed when an obstacle or resistance comes up. It doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. What it means is that that's just life. That's just natural. But keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on where you want to go, the dream that you're building, and the thing that you want to do. And when obstacles come your way, which they inevitably will, you must discern how to deal with it in the moment based on your intuition, based on what makes common sense, based on what gives you a sense of peace, based on the help that you get from people who you can trust. And not everybody you can trust. Sometimes, I'm going to say this, sometimes family is the worst at giving advice. And sometimes family doesn't want us to succeed. And sometimes they actually would rather us fail. Sometimes we're the scapegoat, and they're happier when we're miserable. Now, sometimes family can be great. So it really depends on the person or what your situation is. But true family, in my opinion, are people who want to see you succeed and not fail. People who understand and accept who you are, love who you are. And that doesn't mean they accept everything about you. It means that love can sometimes look like, hey, you're really stinking up the room with this personality trait. Can you work on that? That's the truth. Sometimes we need other people to show us what we need to work on. Okay, so anyway, bottom line is, obstacles are inevitable. Do not let them stop you from where you're going or the dream that you're building. Read Confucius, read Marcus Aurelius, search for wisdom from people who you trust, people who are grounded in reality. Find someone who genuinely cares that you're in trouble or that you need help, and that they genuinely want to help you. If they don't give a fuck, they're not going to be helpful at all. Right? Then they're not going to give you good advice. Find someone who's invested in your success and in you doing well. And invest in your own success as well. Okay, well, this is Alexander K on Live. It was a bit of a spitfire today. I feel that I could keep talking for quite a long time, but there's many more videos to make. I did miss last week, so... but I watched the video. I did make a video last week, and when I watched it, I realized, no, I still needed more time to talk about this, because it just takes time to learn this lesson. So hopefully you found it helpful and valuable, and I wish you well, and I'll take care. See you in the next video.